A very good afternoon to all the viewers out there. A very warm welcome to you in this another live session with GETI or Global Education and Training Institute under the hashtag Disruptive Education Movement initiated by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. And today I have with me Dr. Sanjay Bhattacharya with multidiscipline academic background, and he has ample experience in the corporate, academics, and international developmental organization. Dr. Sanjay has worked as an executive for a manufacturing company, and then he joined as a faculty for social work and human resource management. He is also visiting faculty to various professional institutes, and he has designed and successfully conducted a wide range of training programs for professional institutions and government as well as NGOs. And apart from this, he has contributed his research papers to various national and international levels of journals. And he's also the founder member of National Association of Professional Social Workers in India. Well, not only this, but Dr. Sanjay has authored 6 books, which are widely acclaimed, and has presented papers at different levels in different conferences in countries like South Africa, Philippines, Sri Lanka, and many more. And currently, he is associated with the strategic lead as a strategic leader in World Vision India and leads country strategy of the organization in education and development. And today he has joined us to talk about remedial coaching in enabling positive education disruption. A very warm welcome to you, sir, on this platform of Getty, and viewers are all yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Prerna, for this wonderful introduction, and I really appreciate the initiative that your organization is taking to bring the experts from various area and share their ideas in this platform, which goes to many people across the globe. And really, I'm privileged to be a part of this initiative. Let me share the screen. Are you able to see the screen now? Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I would be talking on remedial coaching in enabling positive education disruption today. Before I take you talk on this particular topic, I would like to take you to some of the basic scenario of prevailing education system in our country. The importance of education for economic growth and development is already well established fact in economic research. And we can understand that literacy enables people to access information and improve their productivity. Three things that I would like to emphasize here as far as the role of education in economic development is concerned. First thing is education is an investment. All country have to invest in education, and when the children are educated, the country is developed. Second thing is education pays. When you are investing in education, it pays its dividend in the long run for the development of the country. And the third important thing is we have to pay attention to the early childhood care and education, that is ECCE, and early reading habits, because that is the foundation of child's education and development. There are prospects of lost opportunities and lower wages in the later life if the primary and secondary school are failing to educate children to succeed in life. Schooling without learning is not just a missed development opportunity, but also a great injustice to the children. They are in need of good education for a successful life. Thus, what I want to say is it is imperative to address education and environmental issues in order to ensure successful development of children. When I say environmental issues, it is a political environment, the social environment, the community environment, and the school environment. All these things are covered under this environmental issues. Now, coming to some disrupted education scenario that we see in India, I would like to highlight few of the issues from the reports which have been published and which are being available on in the various sites. In India, only 25.2% of the children in grade 2 can read grade 25.2% of the children in grade 3 can read grade 2 text. Only 27.7% of children in class 3 can perform a two-digit subtraction, and only 43.3% of the children in grade 8 can perform a division without error. This is as per the report of Annual Status of Education Report 2016. Coming to 2018 report, it says that 44.2% of standard 2 child, that is in the age group of 6 to 8 years, could read a standard 2 level textbook. That means a child studying in standard 2 is not able to read the same standard state book. That means there is no grade appropriate learning happening there. Pratham Acer report 2018 also says that 59.9%, that is around 60% of the children in the age of 3 years are not in preschool, that is in the Anganwadi centers, and only 22.7% are in Anganwadis, that is preschool centers, and rest are in private. The reason is poor enrollment in Anganwadi center is observed due to the poor functioning of preschool centers or Anganwadi centers. They are not functional at all. One more fact I would like to highlight here is it was found that 10.8% of the children in grade 1, that is in the age of 6 to 8 years, could not recognize even any letter, and only 35.2% of the children in the age of 6 to 8 years could recognize a single letter or an alphabet. This is some of the disruptive education scenario that we find. Now coming to the COVID has added more misery to these most vulnerable children who already had a very poor learning outcome. The ACER 2020 report shows that the proportion of children not currently enrolled for 2020 and 21 school year is higher than the equivalent figures for 2018, because this year the school didn't open at all and no enrollment happened. Higher proportion of children not enrolled are visible mostly among the young children 6 and 7 years, because they have not yet secured admission to the school. School closure also increased the number of dropouts from the schooling, increased the rate of child labor, because what happens, the child not going to school is a potential child labor. Lot of child marriages happening because the child is not studying, not going to school. Okay, get the child married. Lot of child sexual abuse also happening because in the community they are living in a very unsafe situation, unsafe environment. The situation of dropout rates and out of school children was already poor even before COVID-19. According to NSS 75 round household survey 2017-18, around 3.22 crore children in the 6 to 17-year age group are out of school. 31% of whom have never attended any school. These figures were higher for rural areas as compared to the urban areas. The major reasons cited for being out of school are engagement in economic activities and participation in household responsibilities, because they don't have any livelihood. So they're engaging the children in household work to have some income in their families. This is one of the impact. which is very serious as far as the education is concerned due to COVID. Now, deprived situation, when we see children being out of school for that long, that is 1 year, they have not gone to any school. The schools in many states are still not open. It means that children not only stop learning new things, they also forget some of what they have learned already. While schools are closed, children rely mainly on the resources available at home to help them. These resources can consist of people who can help them to study. For example, educated parents. If the parents are educated, they can help their children for their studies. But the situation is many of the parents themselves are illiterate. So what to do in that case? The technology, TV is there, radio is there, smartphone is there, and other materials such as test books for the current grade. But the deprived state of affairs are lack of supervisory learning. Many parents of most of the vulnerable children in India are not educated and hence can't supervise their children's learning despite of access to study material provided by their teachers through WhatsApp and other means also. Second deprived situation is low affordability of owning a digital device. Household income of millions of children in India is low and low enough that they cannot afford an IT device like mobile, tablet, computer to have access to digital education. The report, as per the Ministry of Statistics program implementation, says that only 4.4% of households in rural area have computer, as compared to 23.4% of urban India. Only 15% of the household in rural area have internet facilities as compared to 42% of children, 42% in urban India. So this is the situation. They cannot afford. And even though they are online classes, but they cannot afford to have the benefit of online classes. The third deprived situation is limited coverage of internet. All India percentage of household having internet facilities stands at 23.8% as per the report of COVID lockdown education students 2020 April. Limiting the affordability of internet-based learning internet-based learning platform. So they are not having that privilege to go through this facility. So what can be done? Remedial coaching is one of the methodology which comes as a solution for such children who are most vulnerable. It is important to not only stop children dropping out from school, but also to identify those children who already dropped out from the school to be facilitated to get back to school system. Remedial Education Center model is a tried and tested model of World Vision India where I'm working, and that have shown improved results. I'll be sharing those results with you. In Remedial Education Center, that is RECs, students are provided an extra 2 hours of study in a day to help them achieve age-appropriate learning. In COVID situation, what we do, we appoint a facilitator, and that facilitator is assigned 30 children, and they visit home, go with the worksheets as per their age and grade, guide the child and the parents to complete this workbook so that the education is continued. Education cannot wait. It is the community-led process that seeks to ensure that all children in the community benefit from a quality basic education. It focuses on improvement of learning outcomes of children studying in primary class who have not acquired the basic skills in language and mathematics. It aims to facilitate those children who exhibit age-appropriate learning difficulties to be back in school. Once they have their age-appropriate learning, the child is mainstreamed into the public education system. So that is all about remedial coaching. The main features of this model, Remedial Education Center model, is first is REC model is aligned to the national education policy that was released in 2020 by Government of India. that mentions about establishing innovative models to foster peer tutoring and volunteer activities, as well as launch other programs to support teachers. In this urgent mission to promote foundational literacy and numeracy during this learning crisis. So, this remedial education center model that we have adopted is very much aligned to the new education, national education policy of the government released in 2020. It seeks to ensure learning support to all children of age 6 to 11 years in the community to inculcate basic knowledge about reading, writing, maths, and life skills. Age appropriate life skills are also imparted along with improved learning outcomes. Peer learning is encouraged, that is mentioned in national education policy. Low cost, locally available, and child friendly teaching learning materials are used to teach a particular concept to the child. And there's a robust monitoring mechanism in place through community facilitators. These are some of the features of this thing. And I would like to share the success of REC model. See, Remedial Education Center, there are 5 indicators. The first, you will see proportion of children participating in children's club or groups. In the baseline, we had implemented this model in the year FY16, and that was the baseline, and we did an end line in FY19. In the baseline, in this indicator, it was, you will see, it was 42%, and in the end line after intervention, it exceeds to 64.74%. Proportion of children who developed and demonstrate application of foundational life skills that contribute to their own development in the baseline of FY60, it was 36.73%, and it has increased to 52.14% in the end line. The next indicator was proportion of children able to express themselves with confidence and participate in activities in discussion, participate actively in discussions. The baseline for this thing was 45%. It increased to 72%. Great improvement. Proportion of children able to read, to learn in language of school instruction by end of grade 2. In baseline, it was 26%. It has increased to 38.97%. And the last indicator, proportion of children who are functionally literate, which means they are able to read, write, and comprehend what they have learned. The baseline was less than 30, that is 27.35%. It has increased to 48.38% because we are working with a very vulnerable group. The parents are illiterate, the school infrastructure is not there, and to intervene with these children and have this much of improvement in their learning outcome is a big challenge that we have identified. Now, coming to positive education disruption, remedial coaching provides a unique opportunity to reimagine education, the curriculum and pedagogy to address the disruption to education system worldwide. This helps in continuity of education in the community and mainstream them to the public education system because of these 3 reasons. Because the first is it addresses the digital divide. I've already discussed about the digital divide in my earlier slide. Technology, no doubt, has a potential to achieve universal quality education and improve the learning outcome. But in order to unleash its potential, the digital divide is addressed by community home-based learning through REC, especially where digital capability, the required infrastructure, and connectivity do not reach to the remotest and poorest communities who are into the tribal areas, living in a tribal block. Now it reoriented the curriculum. In Remedial Education Center model, we reoriented the curriculum. The teaching curriculum is grounded in students' realities, cultivating critical, creative, and flexible thinking, resilience, and understanding in students. Use of locally developed TLMs, worksheets, coaching by community facilitators helps students think about their topic to learn the basic concept in language and maths. Now it is the time for the governments to integrate this methodology in the national curriculum framework as mentioned in the National Education Policy 2020. The third thing is it empowered community. Continuing education amidst school closure has also taught us an important lesson about the role of community in teaching our children. It takes a community to raise a child. We must empower the community to teach the child. REC is for improving the education system and requires a decentralized, democratic, community-based approach where community ownership of education is cultivated. The local facilitators are equipped to teach children, which increases the accountability of children's families and their ability to empathize with the student's life. So the next is some of the suggestive measures. What can be suggested to address the positive education disruption? Because this COVID is going to remain, but education cannot stop. We cannot come to a conclusion that children will not go to children will not be educated if the schools are closed. We have to have some new normal approach to educate them and have continuity of education even in the disaster situation. The first suggested measure is community mechanism should be very strong. Existing community mechanism should be activated and encouraged to focus on protection of children from violence, abuse, exploitation. Gram Panchayat, village and block level committees, school management committees, paralegal volunteers, etc., should be oriented on child protection due to COVID 19 risk and also address the child labor, child marriage, trafficking, violence that has to be addressed by strengthening the coordination between child welfare committees and district level bodies because child safety is also important. Now, reopening of the schools. Many of the states are trying to reopen the school. What I would suggest is it should be considered in view of physical distancing and COVID-19 related protocols. Enrollment of children is very important issue. Schools must track all enrolled children because some children might have been displaced from that particular place, especially girls, children with physical and intellectual disabilities, to ensure that no child drop out and is in school once the school is open. Their name should not stuck out from the register. Inclusive and learning solution. The most vulnerable and marginalized children are deprived of digital divide, as we have already discussed in our society. Hence, there has to be a bridge that requires accessible software and hardware, inclusive education, differentiating teaching, and peer support through remedial coaching methodology. That would be good enough so that the child has a positive education disruption. Fifth is address the disruption in education. To avoid disruption in education, state governments must facilitate the enrollment of children of migrant families who have returned to their home state in local schools, irrespective of the children having official school record. There, the school record should not, they should be encouraged to enroll those children who have returned to their home state. Those migrant children should also be considered. Their education should not be disrupted. Revisit the data of out of school children. Existing data of out of school children should be revised to facilitate in the current status of children who have dropped out of school to join the informal labor force and children who have returned to their home state and are out of school. The last thing is adequate financing for education. Since 1966, as per the recommendation of Kothari Commission, all successive policies, including National Education Policy 2020 recently, have reiterated that need of 6% allocation of GDP should be on education. But unfortunately, we have never reached that percentage. We couldn't implement Right to Education Act 2009 with stipulated time due to lack of resources and bring all the children in school. Now, COVID 19 has increased this education crisis at a higher level and brought some new challenges for reopening schools, which needs additional fund on education to face this critical situation and going ahead towards a new normal situation. Last, to conclude, education, what I want to say is education is the key to sustainable development, contributing to the achievement of many other SDGs. This education, SDG 4, contributes to other 16 SDGs some way or the other. This REC model is a key contributor of Sustainable Development Goal number 4 that seeks to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The REC model of World Vision stresses committee mobilization and aim to create an effective system of decentralized decision making as per the RT Act 2009 and work alongside with the government to provide the remedial education and lead them to cope with the mainstream of public education system. It is evident, as I showed in the slide, the validation of result of customized REC model that there is considerable improvement in the learning outcome of the children and their assessment of learning levels of each children coming in REC. The implementation, that is the baseline, which happened in the year 2016 and endline that happened in 2019 results also reveals that better impact of remedial coaching is enabling positive education disruption. It also provides learning support and ample opportunities for the children to build their lives. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it's a fantastic job that you are doing at World Vision. And yes, we all know that education is not only to nurture the excellence already there in a person, in a gifted person, but it should also uplift people who are not so equipped with saying, or who are not the gifted ones, you know. So I think it's a big number, as you told, 2.7% in Anganwadi. There are students who are going in pre-primary schools, and still there are many who are not there. I think remedial classes can end the India's education crisis. And there are people coming up with so many things. As you said, that the COVID-19 just added to the problems, I think. Yes, but somewhere people also highlighted about the solutions to these problems, as we were discussing before we started the session, about community libraries also. And as you explained in detail about the remedial education centers, where the students are provided with extra help, and the aim is to facilitate those as per their age who are not able to go to schools, who find difficulty in learning or to be back in schools. And I think yes, RECs will help the education system to improve. And that's very important from the government, for the government, where the enrollment of children should be, notice the schools have almost started, they are opening now, and people are moving from their places to the other. So the enrollment of children is very important. And I think at the same time, we as people, we can work, we can have our team, our task force, where we can train ourselves and the people around who can contribute in this, who can help from your medium, from through RECs or through community libraries. I think that's very important, what I understand. So Yes, overall, a fantastic session, sir. And I hope
Thank you, Prerna, for
you will.
summarizing the points. Because,
Yeah,
as you mentioned, that there is very poor enrollment in early child education, this preschool. Because
right,
preschool is the place where the child has got emergent and emotional literacy that develops, the brain develops during those period. And
right,
if
right,
the
sir.
preschool education is there, some numeric or literacy skill happens in the child before attending the school itself. So that also has to be very much emphasized, very much focused as a non-governmental organizations. Many education institutes are working in this area, and I really agree with you that that is the foundation of child's education and development. So we can focus on that area also.
Absolutely, sir. The
Thank you.
base should be very strong.
Exactly.
That's what we focus on. And as you at word vision, you are already contributing, uh, for the betterment of the education system. Yes, there are many other groups who are already working. And one thing I would like to mention about ours, that is the global dream shala, that is also working towards
Oh,
the literacy, the each one teach one project, where we are not only targeting the ones for pre-primary, but anyone who would like to learn, who would like to be a part of this. We are trying to teach them, beat anyone, no such foundation of age group, but anyone can be a part of it. And yeah, thank you so much. I think that was a important topic that you talked about. We all can be
thank
a
you.
part of this, we all can contribute into this mission some or the other way. We can look around ourselves, people around us who may need some or the other kind of support. So yes, we can be of some use to them for sure. So
Thank
with
you.
this, we come
Thank
to
you,
an
Prerna.
end, sir. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much for joining us, for giving us your time. And thanks to all the viewers for joining in. And yes, we at Global Education and Training Institute, we are committed to transforming education by transforming teaching practices. So do watch out and enroll for our upcoming Getty Teachers Training Program, my dear viewers. And we shall be launching the pre-service teachers training program soon in April, and a variety of in-service training programs as well. So for more details, you can log on to our website, that is gettylearn.org, or call on the mentioned number that is on the banner on the screen you can see. So with this, we come to an end. Thank you so much, sir, once again on behalf of our
Thank you.
entire team at
Thank
Getty,
you.
and we
You're
will
welcome.
connect soon with something more interesting to talk about. Till then, take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Welcome.